It is coal. That's far enough, I think. Probably going to dig this up. This is oxite? What are you? Yep, this is oxite. So we're going to grab oxite a little bit later. Oxite, when you let it sublimate, is going to go straight from a solid to a gas sublimation process. And that's how we're going to get oxygen inside of our sealed area, our hab area. I got to get the walls and the ceiling up, get it solid, secure with no holes. Then we'll bring this in and let it melt and sublimate, which will then add pressure and oxygen in our little hab atmosphere there. It's going to get a lot more complicated, but that's roughly what's going to happen. But we'll leave this for now. I just want to keep looking around real quick. Oh, God, we're going to lose the sun real quick. You are more oxite. What do we got down in the crater? Woo, holy crap. Wow, that is... Is that craters within craters? Is this a big crater? I'm still right near where we started. I thought we had a single crater over here. Can I just not see to the far side of this? Huh. Alright, let's grab some coal before I go too much further. So we got to turn this thing on. Right click to turn it on. And then we just point at it. And it mines. My understanding is as we mine down, you'll see a color kind of change. And the color indicates that there's more of the type of material that you're mining in that location. So it's a way of knowing when you've kind of mined out a spot. And I know there's various gradations of mining tools, and later there's actually mining machinery and deep mining, and it gets much more complicated. But for now, we just do this, and you can see it's appearing in my bag over here. It's a 50 count, I think, is a full stack. Now we'll also use this tool. If we hit the R key, it'll open up the hand drill mining information, and we have an option here to set it to flatten mode. If you click that and then you point, it will actually flatten the terrain. So we'll do that a little bit over at our base to kind of even things out when we need to. But remember to set it back to the default. Otherwise, when you set it to flatten, you'll come out mining and it won't actually pick anything up, and you'll be going, what the heck? What's wrong? And it's because you set it to the flatten mode. Alright, we don't need a super huge amount of this, but I'd like to get a few stacks worth and then go grab some iron. That's the other main thing I'm after. So there's the color I was talking about. Notice that color right there? That's telling me that there's more of it right down in that direction. If you get stuck in a big hole you've made, you either mine the wall to get it low enough that you can walk or jump your way out, or use your jetpack. We're at 2 full stacks. Let's see if we can get one more stack. We're going to be able to put a stack at a time inside the power generator that we set up. I'd like to get back before the sun goes down. Color change is back. Still got some over on this wall. 30, 36. I don't know if the number varies. Looks like it's 6 per. We went 30, 36, 42. Oh, and that jumped to 50. Alright. I'm going to turn on my jetpack to get out of here. Yeah, we've already lost the sun. Okay. I think the crater was over there. Home should be over there in that direction. Let's turn the drill off. Close that window. I'm going to switch back to my other belt. Just so I can make sure I've got the right direction. Turn this on. Yeah, alright. So I'm facing the right direction. So 180. 180 is home, basically. So we'll try to stay oriented on that. Back over the mining drill. Alright. Was there more? Was there iron around here anywhere? That looks like 2 different things. That is silicone. We do need silicone. Let's go ahead and switch back. I don't need the other mining belt in my hand. Alright, yeah, let's grab some silicone. For glass, we will need to make more glass, because I'm going to try to fill in most of the walls of our hab enclosure with glass walls instead of iron. We shouldn't have too many pressure problems that are not of our own making in this environment. So, I don't think we need a ton, actually. Let's just take 1 stack. We'll leave the rest of this. Get me out of the hole.
Hydration critical.
Hydration critical. All right, let's solve a hydration critical problem. So I should have a thing of water in my suit. Number 3. Not in the suit, in the uniform. Number 5. Yeah, water bottle. Which, on easy difficulty, we're allowed to drink water through our faceplate, our helmet, without taking it off or opening the visor. That got us to 124% hydration. The reason 124% is when you eat something, you'll get a bonus amount of hydration possible depending on what you've eaten, is my understanding. So right now, because of our food quality was good, we got a 25% hydration bonus, so it took us to 125% instead of just 100%. And we got 29% left. All right, where are we at? 54? Sure, let's go ahead and have a snack while we wait. All right, so that's done. Turn the uniform off. We got some silicone. Ideally, I'd like to get some iron and some copper, and I think that's it. So we'll just kind of wander around a slight bit looking for some iron or some copper. It's going to take me off of my 180-degree axis, but we've got the tablet and the beacon's turned on, so we should be fine, even if we just meander. More oxide? Nope, that's actually ice, so that's water. We don't need that right now, I don't think. Volatiles? Volatiles. We definitely will need volatiles, but again, I'm not going to grab any right now. Gold? Is that gold? Is that copper? I think that's gold. That's gold. We will need gold, I think, mostly for electronics. Yeah, let's grab a little bit of gold while we're here. Maybe 1 stack if we can get that much. I think different material types take different mining power levels or ability levels, as well as processing time when you're smelting and such. I think gold is more than like iron and copper. We've got 28. There's that color I was talking about. The color you see is dependent on the ore. We're at 50%. I did not bring a big battery with me. We'll get 1 more node here. Alright, we went downhill to get to that. We're kind of rolling our way back towards the base. I think it's somewhere like over there. I might have already passed it. What do we got here? Wow, we got 3 different things. What are you? That's iron. More silicon. Yeah, this is a nice little spot right here. Iron, silicon, and oxide all together. We need tons of iron. So much iron. I'm going to fill probably most of the rest of what we got with iron. We haven't seen copper yet. I do need at least a little bit of copper, too. Yeah, see how fast the iron gets picked up compared to the gold? Alright, mining bag's full. So we maxed out our mining bag capacity. So let's swap to this other mining bag. Open it up. Keep grabbing stuff. We're also on easy mode. We're getting double output for our mining. Once I'm comfortable with the interface and I've got a little bit of practice getting at least through the early part of the game, we'll start switching to tougher locations and tougher difficulty settings and supply settings. Okay, that's a pretty good amount of iron. Yeah, I think that's going to be enough for now. Let's get out of this hole. I would really like to find some copper before we head back. But we are going to be running a little short on battery power here. We've used up, or used a portion of all of the batteries in our supply boxes, so I've really got to make sure we get some power gen going. I think that's iron again. That's gold again. That's gold again. Where are you hiding the copper? Are you copper? Copper should have a greenish tinge to it. That's nickel. Still nickel. I have no idea really where where our lander position is now. I think we doubled back past it, I had to guess. Or we're approaching it, one or the other. Let's swap hands, get our tool belt back out. I want to check my position. Open that back up. Tracking beacon. Oh, we're heading back towards it. Alright, so we didn't go as far as I thought. Alright, we'll hold off on the copper for now. Let's head back. I'm getting nervous about our suit power and not having a spare battery with me. 55 meters, still not in sight. There it is. I do love how easy it is to get lost. I'm always a fan of that in these kinds of games. But they give you tools. So we're using a temporary mini beacon right now. There's later, I believe, one that a beacon can be installed in the base that runs off of base power. I'm not sure how many other methods there are. Alright, so we're done with this for the moment. Turn that off. Put that away. Let's throw some coal in this thing, see what happens. So, swap back to that. That's the wrong belt. Swap back to that. Alright, and we'll toss some coal in. Hit the button. And there's the outgassing from the process of burning the coal, or whatever it's doing there. We should have power generation, so... Full green. Everything maxed, 100. Oh, we need to throw some batteries in here. Let's see. How about we take the battery out of this hand drill real quick. So, open it up. It's 77%. Oops. Put you in there. 77. Oh, the power gen. I think the machinery stopped. I don't hear it anymore. So did it burn through that thing already? No, it's still closed. Oh, it's not turned on. There we go. Now number gets big. So that thing generates a lot of power. We have to feed it the coal, but while it's running, it's going to generate a bunch of power. And this is also 100% and is a large battery cell. So let's go ahead and get our suit out. We're at 37%. We'll hot swap this. So our suit is now at the 100 and that one. And then notice this. So this means there's power draw, but it's in excess of needs. So meaning incoming power is enough to suit the outgoing power requirement. If we had machinery downrange and we had them all turned on, this might be like red and green or red and blue. I don't know all the combos yet, but that would indicate that power draw is greater than current power generation, and it would be actively draining the battery. So that one's going up. Apparently our stack of coal is still chugging along. Just like keeping your tools turned off when you're not using them, important to turn machinery off when you're not using it as well. Okay, we're making progress. We're not dead yet. We've got some power gen, both solar and a coal power burner. I don't think I'm going to set the other power system up yet. I will set it up here next to it, so I'll have all three of my power in one spot. They'll all be feeding into this device, and then when we start setting up devices inside the hab module, we'll run power kind of down and around, and we'll set things up. So, and then after that, once I get the walls and stuff up and we get this enclosed, we'll start bringing in some oxide. I get the doors up. I don't know if I'll go with just standard doors initially or try to figure out how to get an airlock up right away. But sun's coming up. All right, so everything turned off. That thing's still running. We got a lot of stuff in these mining belts. The good news is I can just drop the mining belts or put them back in the box for now. What I might do, I'm planning on putting the arc furnace here, putting the first printer device in here. Let's get the arc furnace down real quick and get it wired up. All right, survival supplies. So let's go ahead and get, let's see, let's put the Sure, whichever. We'll put the mining drill back there. And I think I'll drop the mining belt in here and the mining belt in here. And we'll pull them back out and divest them of their materials here in a bit. That one's got the locker. I'm going to put that inside so we can put stuff in the locker to get better organized. And we'll try to make another locker or two here pretty soon. What was I thinking about that I needed? We got food and water. We got an air conditioning package. Fire extinguisher flags as markers. I'm not sure what their purpose is beyond markers. I don't know if you can see them at a distance for some reason or somehow, or exactly what those are used for. More food, scrubber package, cleaning, I assume air scrubber to get rid of pollutants and gases that you don't want inside your hab. Yeah, this is not what I'm looking for. I am looking for... That's the portable generator. That's the one that runs on the fuel tank. I will need you, but we'll come back for that. Oh. There we do. Arc furnace and auto lathe. That's what I want. Let's grab each of these. Alright, so... Arc furnace first. You're going to go over here. That's the input slot. Do I turn it sideways? I think I'm going to turn it sideways. Where's the radiator? I think the radiator is facing me currently. It's hard to tell sometimes from the ghost image. I think that's the way I want it. No, that looks like the input side right there. All right, let's put it here real quick and take a look at it. Radiator, that's the input slot for the raw ore. Close the door, turn it on, and then it's going to eject the bars. So it'll turn like iron ore into iron bars, which is what we put into the lathe, which makes the materials we need. I want it facing this way. I kind of don't want the radiator facing this direction. I think I'm going to turn it. I'm going to go ahead and let it spit the bars out this direction and have the input and the buttons facing me. So, towards that end, we need to get our tool belt. Need to get our tool belt back on. What's it going to be? Is it going to be the grinder? Hand drill. It's the hand drill to deconstruct. Fine. Alright, so I want it. Yeah, this way. Nope. God damn it. Got it exactly backwards again. Alright, there we go. So that assembly off to the left is the direction it'll be easiest for me to remember. So we'll feed it materials, and the materials will exit back here. That's fine. That keeps it simple. Alright, so we're going to need to get power to it to operate it. Now, I'm going to put the lathe over here. So we want the... How do I want to orient this? Again, input hoppers on the front. Or no, input hoppers on the left side where that arrow is. Exit point is on the right. It's just going to kick things out on the ground over here if we go it this way. And the wiring is going to have to come out in the middle of the floor if we set it up like that. If I go sideways, exit point will be over here. I can see doing it that way, but it kind of leaves a weird blank spot back there. Let's go ahead and just set it up this way. I'm going to leave... I don't think I'll try to leave space here for like a shelf or anything. We'll figure that out later. So I think I'll go right about here. Oh, I went too far back. What do I need? Wrench. All right, wrench. Let's try this again. Yeah, it's too far back. That's where I need it. Okay. So the autolathe has multiple steps to get it installed. So we don't want to deconstruct. Let's grab probably the welder. I think we need metal sheets first. Yeah, we need iron sheets, and I think we need plastic. We'll get it built, and then we'll wire everything up. So I believe I'm going to need plastic sheets. I don't think it needs glass. Don't need the frames of the wall. And I've got iron sheets in my inventory. All right. So. Next, we need cable coils. That's what I was forgetting. We need cable coils. All right, cable coils. Swap out with me, please. Actually, let's keep these in our inventory. And final step is plastic sheets. All right. Oh, not quite final. Now we just need a screwdriver to finish things up. Screwdriver. And there we go. Autolathe Mark 1. So this is a lathe printing machine. So it's a printer. We're going to be feeding in raw materials in the form of ingots. So that's the input hopper. We feed ingots in, and it uses those materials. We'll be able to track what the contents inside are here. It'll tell us how much iron, how much copper, and so on we have. This one's primary purpose is mostly metal-based kits and frames and things like that. There's going to be a separate one for like electronics, and I don't know how many different types there are for these lathes or printing devices, but there's specialized versions for different things. So now we just need to get these things wired up. Let's go ahead and put you away. I think we're done with plastic for now. Put you back there. I just need my wires and my wiring tool. So, wire tool and wire. All right, we'll do this one first. So, we're going to bring it... I think I'll bring it... I'm going to leave this loop alone. I'm going to bring one down, and then we're going to split it. We're going to send one line down this way and send the other line along the wall and the wall over here, probably. All right, so straight line first, sure. Then we're going to switch this with like that. Back to the straight line version. Nope, actually we need to go around the wall, so like so. Just a little bit of practice with this. Switch. And again. It seems to auto-connect pretty easily. You just got to get a little bit of practice with the up-down to change the type or design style, and then C just to switch which orientation. Once you do that a few times, it seems to get a little faster. And then we need to, we're going to connect this up too, so let's keep that. We'll run this over this way as well. All right, so it's fully wired in. And any other devices we put over here, we'll bring it off of that instead of running it around the back, I think. So the lathe is connected. It's not powered on yet. This one... and let's bring it straight across. right. I think that's it. I think we're wired up. So let's grab our mining belt, throw a thing of iron in here, and see what happens. We've got no power gen currently, but we do have a full battery we can operate off of. So I put my mining belts where? Not here, not there. Here we go. Let's put the wiring away. And the frames. We'll get better organized here pretty soon. We're just about to the point where I can get the walls up and get some storage going so I can organize this crap. In there with you, in there with you. Inventory is empty. And... alright, now go get our mining belt. Which one is this? Yeah, that's fine. That's got iron. Okay. Insert iron. Turn on. Tell it to go. So again, if we had this inside our hab area, we would be generating quite a bit of heat, I'm assuming, inside the hab area. And you can see now we're getting the flashing red-blue. So power draw is exceeding power generation. Income, outgo is exceeding income, so we're getting the red-blue flash. And we should see a drain here, so we're down to 98. If we went and turned on this generator, we'd probably have more than enough to compensate for just this going. Mostly just the nasty gases. Well, we don't want any nasty gases. So this is going to take a little while. We'll just let it do its thing. I would like to get some storage out here where I can dump all of the ores and such. And then just grab one and toss it in, grab one, toss it in. I'm unsure if I want to do a cabinet out here. I can actually lock these down onto some frame holders and use these, which I'm thinking of doing. Oh, there's our ingot. All right, so let's turn this off temporarily. That's the activation button. That's the main power button. So, all right, so no more power draw. Yeah, everything's off. If we turn this back on now, and we insert that, and we take a look at our green board here, it says contents 50 grams of iron. If we hit this thing, it ejects it. So if you need materials to go into some other device and you have a hopper type system here, just pull the little lever here and it'll eject the material so you can use it elsewhere. So stick that back in, 50 grams of iron, and this is the recipe list. So we now have this list of options available to us. Bobbleheads, so it's apparently categorized: appliances, clothing, default, kits like iron frame kits and so on, or you can search. So if I want walls, I can say, all right, kit walls of various types. So I want, let's do more frames, more iron sheets. What do we want? Let's just do iron frame. All right, so we've set the recipe. When we point the mouse, you can see what recipe is being set right here, the big green button. So left mouse, build iron frames. It's going to take 4 grams out of the 50 in order to do 1 iron frame kit. Now, one thing to know or learn that I know in a video I watched when I was doing my research is when you click this button, it's going to continuously make that item forever, or until it runs out of raw materials for the item. If you click it, it goes into operation. You can see it building. It's going to eject it over here when it's done, and it's going to start a new one. It's going to just keep operating. Later, I assume there's more complicated processes. But if you click this to switch the recipe to a different one, it'll finish whatever's in progress, but then stop. So if you only want a certain number of these, just click the arrow either direction to switch the recipe, and it'll auto stop when it completes whatever's currently in progress. So there you go. Or you sit here and you'll watch it and you carefully press the button to stop it when it finishes building whatever you wanted to build. All right, so was that literally just 3 frames? Wow, it was just 3 frames. I thought it was going to be a bunch. Is there like a frame kit that has a bunch? There was only the one option. Yeah, there was only the one option. An iron wall, iron frame. All right, so I guess you just got to slowly do all of them at 4 grams of iron each. Huh. Good to know. Okay, so what else? We got our lathe up. I need to just keep feeding materials into the furnace, the arc furnace specifically. I believe there's 3 different furnaces. Arc, standard furnace, which runs on a mixture of gases you have to carefully balance to maintain a certain pressure level and a certain temperature level. And while it's within those levels, you can then feed in the proper ratios for alloys. That's my understanding. This one is raw ore, straight from ore to ingot form. So the simple stuff like iron and coal or copper and things like that. As soon as you get to alloys like steel and so on, you need the regular furnace, and it's much faster, but you gotta feed it the right ratios and get the gas pressure and the types of gases in there correct, and then also feed in the right ratios of base materials to make the proper alloy. So it's a bit more involved and complicated. We'll get to that in the not too distant future, I'm sure, because we're going to want steel as soon as we can get it. But it'll be a little bit before we get to that part. So with the lathe up, I'm going to try to remember. I gotta carefully keep an eye on my batteries. That's the number one problem we could run into currently. We've got plenty of oxygen, plenty of food, plenty of water on these easy settings. I'm not worried about running out of that stuff while we get this initial learning stuff done. Power, though, I got to be careful about. We got a lot of batteries we're juggling, small batteries, large batteries. There's also, you got to be careful about the wiring that you use. I believe there's 2 different types of this cable. So if we hit F1, pause the game, type in cable, I think it's cable something or other. Yeah, heavy cable. So there's heavy cable versus, yeah, cable coil and cable coil heavy. So cable coil, maximum wattage of 5,000 kilowatts. So if you try to push more than that through, you'll burn your cable and you might shut down parts of your base and manage to unalive yourself. So we're not going to be near that with the current setup. So eventually, though, we're going to need to switch to cable coil heavy, and it moves that up to 100,000 watts. But I assume it's harder to manufacture. Looks like it takes gold and copper. So you need electronics printer tier 1. Takes 500 energy to generate and 0.5 gold to 0.5 copper in order to make the heavy cable. So, versus the standard cable coil, just needing copper, I believe. Yeah, just copper. 200 energy and some copper. We'll get you the standard cable. We're going to need to make some of this, so I still need to go out and find some copper. That's the one thing we didn't come back with, the base materials that I think we're going to need. Okay, so let's turn the lathe off for the moment. I think we have enough of the raw materials for me to still do things without having to worry about that. I do want to keep this thing going as long as we've got the battery. I need to learn how to manage my batteries better. So, let's see. Currently, I've got the belt for the... Uh-oh, where did I put my tool belt? Oh, it's in my hand. Never mind. I could drop some of the ores on the ground back here and just use ground storage for a bit. I don't think they'll blow away. They might. Let's tuck them into this little corner here. I don't think they'll go anywhere from here. So let's just see what happens to these things. Oop, oop. Don't go too far, Silicon. Hey, get over there. All right, let's just drop some ores out of here. I'm going to put the coal on the other side. Hopefully, again, it doesn't move much. All right, that empties that mining belt.
Power low.
Power low. Gotcha. I think we have enough power to go ahead and run another cycle on the iron, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, get another iron bar going. So I got both of the belts emptied. Swap back to our tool belt. Go store these. I'm going to head out looking for copper again when the sun comes up, I think. So... those stored again. Let's get some walls up. I can start getting our hab area kind of walled up. I'm going to use iron windows sections. So we need iron walls. That's 30 and that's 27. So a stack of 30 is the biggest amount. I don't... we probably will need sheets. Okay, let's take a look at our battery situation. So, battery... oh, that's the welding torch. That's right, that uses gas. No batteries to worry about there. I don't think the other tools are anywhere close either. 92 on that one, and angle grinder's 97. Yeah, we're fine on the batteries. All right, just the large batteries we have to worry about. Okay, so I want to do window walls, iron windows. So for this, it's not going to matter. That X design's not going to be involved. So we should be able to just drop these in. I think single floor. I have no idea if I'm going to need more headspace. I don't know if I need to go like up 2 levels. Have another layer above that's empty. If there's machinery like that takes up a lot of space. I'm just going to go single layer for now. Alright, so we're going to need the roof ones as well, but let's get the walls up first, and then I'll do the roof separately. So I've learned to look for the bolts. So to keep doing this, we need iron sheets to continue construction. So switch hands, switch over to our sheets. Oh, that does make a difference. Well, that bothers me slightly. Does it bother me enough to swap it? We've got the bolt indicators everywhere else. Yeah. Alright, and then we're going to need glass to fill in everything. Not sure I have enough. 49 sheets? Yeah, that's probably enough. So these two are the only two I got facing the wrong direction. The ones I started with. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think there's a visual indicator like the bolts for telling when the glass is in successfully. With daylight, we can see kind of the lines running through the glass. So no glass, with glass. At night, it's a lot harder to tell. Alright, walls are up, glass. Just got the two walls that we got faced the wrong direction, but I don't care right now. Next up, same thing, just got to do the roof. So let's swap back to... Yeah, I'm down to 13 iron wall, huh? Do we have another stack? Frames. More wall? I don't think any of the kits have it. Definitely not hydroponics. Alright, I think we're going to need to make some iron wall. Okay. Battery's at 84%. Sure. What am I using currently? Just kit iron wall. That one there. 1 gram per each. Start making me some walls. What do I need? We're 5x4, so 20. We'll do up to 30. Yeah, there's probably more somewhere that I missed. We'll get organized with the inventory here pretty soon. All right, go ahead and turn that off. Oh, we hit the stack limit. That's fine. You can just sit there. Okay. I want it up there. So, do I do a window wall here? Or do I do another solid one for another solar panel? Let's do an iron wall standard here. I think I'll mount one more solar panel up here. Oops, I did it wrong. Angle grinder. I want the block to be above. So I get the X on the right facing. Right there. All right. Now back here and back to you. And I need iron sheets. Cool. Okay, now back to my walls. That seemed weird. All right, so
Vorm, good evening.
lathe is blocking me. And then finally, glass. That's where it's hard to see the lines. Okay, I think we're down to just this. Do the head bump test. I can see the lines when I look through at the gray bar there, so that's really all I need to verify. Alright, I think we are enclosed except for a door. Cool. Let's go open one of the packages over here. This one, I believe. Yeah, that one. All right. Unpack, 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 unpack. I want not the eggs, not the microwave, not the tables. Kit locker. Kit locker times 2. And I think it takes 2 to make the large locker. So how do I want to organize this? Do I want it on this wall or start here going that way? I think I'll start here going that way. So right click. Change orientation. That is the locker. Mounting points are on the back. Doors towards me. Yeah. Alright, so now we have this many. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 30 storage slots for stuff. Let's go ahead and put you away. Now you opened the eggs. How do you pick it up versus opening it? You gotta click carefully. The bottom says pick up. A couple pixel above says open. That's what got me into trouble with the mining charges. I clicked up here, which activated the timer on the charge. So be very cautious when you're picking up mining charges. For now, I'm just going to toss random stuff in here. We'll get better organized later. Table kit. Alright, so I want to make more of this. What's it take to make more of that? That is kit locker. Kit locker takes just iron. Heck yeah. Give me some of those. Turn that thing on. How long is this going to take? 40%, 50%. Not long at all. Let's get 3 of these made. That will... and I think I'll make actually 4. Well, 1, 2, 3... I'm going to leave that corner alone. We'll do 3 inside, and I'm going to maybe set 1 outside to hold my ore that we mine and bring back. So we'll do 4 total. As soon as it finishes the 3rd, I'm going to click the button here. That will change the recipe, meaning it's going to finish the in-progress item and then stop building. Alright, orientation still good. Do we go next to each other? They don't take up a full space. I'm not sure if I can get 4 all the way across down that way. I definitely don't think I'll have enough. We'll see. Yeah, let's put them directly next to each other. Oh, that's right. They're 2 each. I forgot about that. I need more. More, I say. Keep printing. Forgot about the 2 each thing. So much for my view out that direction. Three's probably enough for now. Alright, do we put one out here? I was thinking of mounting these things onto attachment points for holding the ore. Just for something different. I could put a frame in and store the ore out here. I'm assuming I'm going to put some other device out here next to this. Could always move it later if I want. Oh, I don't need a frame to put it on?
Power critical.
I don't like having things float. I don't know if I can justify like that position would be attached to the wall here. It looks like it is going to have the edge on the side here. Maybe not. What's it look like? It looks kind of goofy. Yeah, I know we're pretty low. It's okay. Alright, that's everything from that belt. Yeah, it feels a little weird. I should probably put a frame there and put it on a frame. Yeah, I've seen some of the floaty stuff. It bothers me. Alright, so let's relocate this stuff. Let's get it all inside before I put doors and stuff on. Drop you over here. We'll get everything up on the walls, and I'll decide what I want to do with these containers. We could disassemble them and then put them back together later or elsewhere. Once we get them inside, we'll do a little bit of mining when the sun comes up, and then I think I'll figure out how to put an airlock on. That's a bit of a process from what I've seen. I haven't done it myself yet, so... Wow, these things are unwieldy. Can I drag it? Oh, it's easier to drag it in behind me. Alright. Bring that thing around. That'll do. Oh, and knock that over. Let's put that in the middle of the base back here. Or anywhere in the base. Back corner looks good. I don't know how much the idle power values are. Like if I leave the autolave on but not actually doing anything, I could probably get the network analyzer out and see if it's got power draw. I'm sure there's some. Oh yeah, almost forgot about that crap. Oh, don't click on those. We will blow up. Oh yeah, I have no suit power. I forgot. 3. Battery 0. Good times. At least it didn't lock the suit up. It's not like a servo mech suit or something. That would have been funny. I was locked in place. Okay, yeah, that's a problem. So that is zeroed out. We definitely need to get the coal going over here. So, oops. Did I build on top of the coal? Yeah, I talked about that. It's a gamification. Call it HE3, call it whatever you want. But for game purposes, yep, coal in the moon. Oh yeah, that's right, it is still in the belt. Forgot about that. I don't have the belts with me. They're inside now. Not that belt. Yeah, I should probably set up a container out there to hold one of the mining belts so I can grab them and take off. So I'll probably I'm gonna move that, I think, or put a frame under it. Do it proper like. For the moment though, let's go ahead and get it stored back in here. Not in the belt? Now I'm confused. Nope, not in the belt.